intro, I think I'm gonna have to do it like WWE style. Like, we came into the comic game. They told me I wouldn't be the best, but I met up with my buddies Lawrence and BD, and we've done something special. So never ever forget that you are meeting the mega powers, the mega maniacs, the combination, the great collateral. No, I'm Brian Lambert, Wingless Comics.
Man, you
Glad
should
to
have
be
kept
here with
going
my
with
boys.
that, bro. You might as well have finished that one.
Yeah, that was going good.
I
Hey,
try to pretend, every now and again. I'm going for the belt.
I'm so mad right now because I did all that hype, all that intro, and I forgot to go live.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely, I
50
did.
seconds.
One of the hottest,
50 seconds
one of the hottest
live.
intros I've done.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
hottest plugs for a publisher. I threw Hustle in there. Comic book bricks. I had it all.
You
It
did.
did not
You
go
did.
live.
You did. You did that. I saw that. You did that.
Hey, we live now though. I got it just in time for the Randy Macho Man Savage.
Oh, nice,
Oh,
nice.
man.
Oh,
There's
I'm so
not
mad.
even any context for that. There's not even any context for that.
Right?
I'm
now, it's
so
on
mad
crazy.
right now. Basically, I gave a pretty jazzed up intro that involved hustle, because this is hustle in the comics, and I said they hustling these comic book bricks. They out here slanging these imaginations, and they bringing it from the streets to the people. And then we did the intro, and he came in with the Randy Macho Man Savage. So that's where we're at right now. We caught up. I was so organized, man. If you can see my screens right now, I had everything laid out, and I forgot to hit the live button.
Damn.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
it is what it is. We're here right now. F it, we in the building. All right, so what's going on with this thing? Hold up, I got it, right? I got the link. You sent me the link. I got the link. Let's get the link. Let's get people started on this early. Let's get them started on this early. I'm putting the link in the comments right now. This is an epic crossover, it's only befitting that they're on the most epic show doing the most epic crossover. Nightfall right now. Brian Lawrence, who wants to take the reins to tell me what this is about?
Okay. This honestly, for all of us, for me, is really a dream project, and the reason it's a dream project is because in the spirit of collaboration, all those good things, we actually put together a project that is a legitimate crossover. It's a legitimate, three-pronged attack at doing comics and a three-pronged way of telling stories. There are a lot of times where you might see, quote-unquote crossovers, but they don't really live up to that in that the characters aren't really interacting. There's not like a story that's beginning, middle, and end. A bunch of different things. So you end up with like a lot of cameos as opposed to a strict crossover. This is a crossover as seamless as if they've always been written together. Prime, Sakari, Avery, Jinx, Caliburn, Lux, Justice, they're all there. They all inhabit this world. There are things going down. There are stakes. There's gravitas. It's everything that we want and love our crossovers to be when we were kids. If you think about
Prompt the brakes. I need you to know how epic this is. Look, I gotta put the drum pad. I need you to know how big this is right now. My man said gravitas. All right? I've heard word used in lectures. In the classroom is the first time it's been executed on chat and draw. It's real right now, man.
If you didn't bring it up, I was gonna bring it up. As soon as he said it, I was like, my man said gravitas.
Gravitas.
Oh, it had to be said. So I'm glad you brought it up, bro. I'm glad you brought it up.
Hey, man, Mike set the tone, man. It's not my fault. I'm telling you, you got me on my WWE promo style right now. I can do it. You know what I mean? So once you said that, once you do that, man, it's a wrap for me.
I feel it. Hey, I'm not knocking it. I love the wordplay. Like I said, I just had to acknowledge first time ever being used on chat and draw.
I appreciate it. Big Tuesday moments need big Tuesday words, bro.
Hey,
that's right. That's right, baby.
So
that's right, baby.
I know. So honestly, as as big as it is for you, like I said, for you to do a chat and draw on a Tuesday, for you to open this platform up for us, that's how big and how serious we take this crossover itself, man. It's not just a cash grab or a flash in the pan thing. It's actually a layered story that between the three of us, we've been working on for the better part of a year. This didn't just come up, last month and hey, let's do this. We've been doing this since before we laid the groundwork for even our own, individual Kickstarters that launched this year. So we want and we've steered towards doing a real thing at the quality of, indies. Of course, we all love indies, man, but sometimes indies get looked at like, oh, well, they didn't have the quality or they didn't do this. Marvel would have done it that way. Image would have done it this way. Dreamwave, whatever. We try to cast off all of that, man. We're Nightfall is a crossover in the classic form of crossovers.
Shout out to Alyssa. You guys just got a pledge from her. Thank you, Alyssa.
Thank you very much, Alyssa. I just saw that pop up. Nice. It's the way they should. Wildcats #4. By Wildcats #4, you already had Youngblood crossing over into Wildcats. #4, mind you. You know what I mean? Like that's a brand new company. We did that exact same feel of having this really open and developed world where you might see anyone in there. Anything could happen potentially in terms of who you're going to see in the crossover, when, why, and a story that makes it make sense, man. These characters aren't just thrown against the wall and like, oh, hey, we got somebody new and flashy. There's a reason for each one of them being there. There's a story behind each one of them being there. It's as organic as anything else any of us have written.
Yeah, and I was when we first started talking about it, I could tell it was going to be a different type of it was going to be a crossover with some substance, because Brian asked me real questions about the Avery character that would lend more towards once you read it, you'll be able to see that there's a reason why Avery's there, even at the bottom of everything else. And it's a quick one line, but it becomes more of an overall reason. There's one reason in the beginning, and then it becomes Avery has had something happen in her past. Avery sees something in another character that Avery needs to be there for. So when he started asking me questions, I could tell that this wasn't going to be just a flash in the pan. Something blows up, Avery shows up, smiles, and then flies off in the sky. That he was really putting the time and effort into developing the whole thing, and nothing even started on the drawing front for months until we had everything else good and ready to go. This was definitely well planned, and on a personal note, I try to only work with people that I can learn from. And I've learned a lot from Brian and BD, especially doing this project. So it's really worked out well. It really has. And you'll be able to tell it. The proof is definitely going to be in the pudding for this one.
Okay.
As far as working with people, if you know your Randy Savage lore, again, I'm going to say I only work with the cream of the crop. If you guys don't know, type in YouTube, put Randy Macho Man Savage, cream of the crop. You're going to laugh for probably 30 minutes, and it's only 2 minutes. But no, so, one of the goals for me personally, when this was just my brainchild and just something I was kind of putting together, was to work with like-minded individuals. In comics and life and business, you have partnerships, and sometimes they don't work out, and that's not a problem. Like, sometimes two people are better off working not together, and then they come with this amazing, amazing product. I wanted to obviously do the inverse of that. I wanted to try to work with some people that I had known a little bit, that I had seen in the industry, whose characters I kind of admired, whose characters differ from my own, and it gives me the chance to work with them and to see how they would react. I think it's more engaging for me to see how a character would react to Justice or how they would treat them. I mean, I know how the characters in my world react, but how do the characters in Lawrence's? How do the characters in Concept Moon? How do you know what I mean? So that was really, really important to me, and getting some, like-minded people that wanted to see, I don't want to say something necessarily different with regard to this, like that particular thing, but just something new and fresh, a new and fresh take as opposed to, your origin story or, your cookie cutter type vibe. So it was great to be able to kind of bring that together and work with these guys on that and have them, push me forward and push me where the writing and the scripting needed to be. That was actually a pretty excellent piece to go into.
All right. See, this sounds all real good, man. It sounds like you guys are all pushing each other individually and creatively with the creative force to bring this thing together. How? Well, first off, what's up, Doom Smith, man? How you doing? Also, shout out to my Patreon members for making this stuff like this happen, because without y'all, I wouldn't have a Patreon. Andrew Duggan, Haley Dennis, Brad Arney, Unlikely Hero Studios, and Tom Kelly. Thank you so much. I'll be doing the Brown Hornet episode probably this weekend. Maybe Friday morning I'll be doing it, because who knows what I'm doing this weekend, because I don't even know right now. But it's coming ASAP. Brad says, I'm excited to check this book out. I am familiar with the Constant Hustle characters, but not the others yet. Yes, so I know who these characters are attached to. Before our viewing audience, why don't you guys let us know which characters are attached to which creator?
You want to take this one, Lawrence? Or you want me to?
Well, I'll cover some, and you can cover the rest. How about that?
All right.
Is that all right? All right.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, all right. Avery the Astonishing is a Constant Hustle Comics character. Crime is a Concept Moon Studios character, and Justice is a Wingless Comics character, as well as oh man, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now.
Tag me in.
Cannot believe I'm drawing a blank right now. Go in, brother. Go in, please.
So I'm gonna do this, and it embarrasses Lawrence every time I do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So Avery is not just a Constant Hustle character. Avery is the icon. Avery is the Constant Hustle flagship. Avery is a real special talent within Constant Hustle. Very iconic looking, and as you can see, and as you're drawing. Justice is the angel of Wingless Comics, which I'm super, thrilled to have him out there, along with a special character that I've mentioned off and on, but I tend to stray away from, only because I want everybody to experience this character within the story. Caliburn, everybody's favorite rogue, is from Wingless Comics as well. Jinx, a mercenary character, is on loan to Wingless Comics from my brother and Shishio Studios. Prime, the hero, the golden age hero of Concept Moon Studios, is obviously featured, one of the three principals in Nightfall, as is Sakari the Betrayer, who is also part of Concept Moon's Studios roster of characters and stories and their entire universe.
Okay.
Would you say that Justice is your flagship character, Brian?
No, so you know what? I gave it a different title, right? That's why I just said he's the angel of Wingless, because I was like, let me give flagship to you, and then the hero of to the other. You see what I'm saying?
I got that. I picked that up. I picked that up. I got that.
Yeah.
You are killing this drawing already, man.
Huh?
You're killing this drawing already, man.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm not going to be the first one to say that I absolutely love doing this show, because I get to listen to you guys talk about your characters with such vigor and passion. You see that? I got that word vigor and had to up my
Yeah,
had to bring
yeah.
my vocabulary again.
Uh-oh. Now I got to come up with a $5 word before the end of this. Everybody else got one.
Exactly. But you guys are
Oh,
talking about
man.
this stuff with such passion and stuff. It it bleeds over to me when I'm drawing it because I'm like, man, I got to try to bring it for them on the characters, man. We live right now, and like that juice, that energy is like powering me up.
I tell you what, you got that fade on Prime already sharp as hell. So you ahead of the
Right.
game. I'm just seeing the outline of it, and you ahead of the game on that within itself.
Hey, I've read Excellence, and it's a book by Image Comics, and they have a scene in there where the main character is getting his haircut by his grandma. It's a really dope scene, really dope scene. Made like it instantly connected with me. And then after he left the house, he went by one of his boys and they saw him. He was like, man, that lineup ain't nothing to play with. Like that was the literal dialogue in the comic. And I was like, hey, they get it. They understand what a lineup is, what it means.
Hey, shout out Brandon Thomas because he really did write the hell out of that series, man.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Yeah, I only have a couple of those. I gotta finish the whole of that. I only have a few of those.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. When I got mine signed last year, I was geeking out. Like I was acting like I was cool because we were both vending at an event. You know what I mean? But like I was like, yo, can I get this signed? He was like, yeah, man, no problem. He's all cool and stuff. And I was like, yeah, thanks a lot. Man, I went back to my table so happy. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah. So.
Hey, you better than me, man. I got no shame. I got no damn shame because I was praising. It was that scene. It was those two scenes: the grandma giving the haircut and his friend's reaction to the haircut that made me fall in love with that book. That I instantly was like, this is my shit now. I'm on it. I'm here with it. What up, J Man? How you doing, man? J Man in the building. He is the most consistent watcher that I have on the show. I think Brad Arney is giving him a run for the money for most episodes watched consecutively on my channel.
J Man, happy to have you, bro. You know what's funny, man, about the lineup and stuff like that. Now, for us, that's normal, kind of average, everyday life. But what I've noticed working sometimes with international artists, working with different artists, working with people who haven't been exposed to that kind of art before, it's sometimes a labor. It's not a chore, but it's hard when you're trying to explain. Oh yeah, no, their hair doesn't just cut off, man. It fades. Like it's gotta fade from one to the other. And you can show them a picture, but they still don't get it. They still, they still that bowl cut kind of thing. And again, for us, that's like it's big for us, but it's also life. And for other people, they don't understand the difference. They're like, well, it looks the same. Nah, man, it doesn't. I think that's one of the reasons we all really got hype over Miles Morales when he had that, real clean lineup in the new Spider-Man game in the images.
Yeah. And
that was like a defining moment. He brought his head up real slow and the camera panned around. Everybody was like, ooh, that's right.
Right?
That's
man.
right. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay, man. That's the other reason why I do the show. What up, legend, man? Good to have you. Thank you. One of the things, and I just a sidetrack, I want to ask you, brothers, this. I thought Into the Spider-Verse was so dope, right? My son, his name is Miles Parker Watson. So taking him to go see Enter the Spider-Verse was like an amazing thing. And
right.
I've always understood how important. What's up, Cameron? I've always understood how important it is to have diversity, how to have representation. How people should see themselves in some way, shape, or form, even if it's not 100%, some shape of them in media, in pop culture, in TV, in comic books, because it is a ridiculously vigorous feeling, right? So when Miles has on J's in this movie, I'm like, it's such a subtle touch. Like it's a vanity thing, but for us as kids, I had J's, man. That was they steal the shoe. They sell out, still, to this day, which is also my reason why I feel Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. But I'm not gonna get all of that. But the PlayStation game is coming out, right? And they put out screenshots with your boy with some Adidas on. I went off on Twitter. I was like, y'all may think it's nothing, but the fact that Miles Morales chose to put on some Jordans it hits us on so many different levels, man. It connects with us as teenagers and kids there are kids that are still buying Jordans right now. They don't know who Michael Jordan is. They're buying it off the name that was built.
My son, I shouldn't say he's buying them. We're buying them for him. He knows who he is. He knows who he is, but he's never watched him play. It's like knowing who Jimi Hendrix is, but never have been around to hear Jimi Hendrix play. Yeah. You can know who Jordan is, but if you never saw him, clutch time, championship game,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Then you don't really know. It is the subtle things. It's the subtle things like that show it's not diversity just for the sake of diversity.
Exactly.
It shows that somebody actually is paying attention to the character at the time in that in the area they're in, and what that character would actually be like, not just throwing him in there and having him act like everybody else or dress like everybody else. But as long as he's black, you can check the box on that.
Right.
It's not the same.
So, and that brings me to, I think it's important. I think they should have it. But for all I know, there probably is a skin where he does have the Jordans. And people are always saying, it costs so much money. I'm like, they got the money. They paid for it.
If you can make the game, you got the money
for the shoe. You paid for it for the movie.
Well, so this is what I think.
The game.
I think with the Adidas, and I'm not 100% sure because I'm obviously not in the room with them, but I think Adidas paid for it though. Product placement. So I give them that caveat because of product placement. Adidas is an opponent for me because look what him wearing J's did though. You know what I mean? Look how many cosplayers. I think the week of sales for the retros for the ones, which are the ones he had on, they went. I mean, they're already through the roof, right? But they like doubled when people saw that image and those images. So I imagine that Adidas seeing that, they're a smart company. They're no slouch. They said, okay, this is a way that we can make money too. Let's get this product placement. Let's pay for it. So it's, for me, that's like annoying more than it does make me angry. It's annoying because I'm like, well, damn, Adidas, why'd y'all swoop in? But it doesn't make me angry because that's a business thing as opposed to, someone, arbitrarily picking that. Adidas being on there isn't an accident. Somebody didn't arbitrarily pick that. Just like they didn't arbitrarily pick J's, you know what I mean? That was product placement.
Right.
So I give them that, even though it can be annoying, I give them that little, that small little piece there.
And you know what, Brian? That makes a lot of sense, man. That's a very, very good point. I absolutely didn't think about that. I just immediately got offended that my boy wasn't rocking them. I just like, that's Miles. That's how I know Miles.
Yeah.
Like you guys gave, and again, he could still have the skin. The Jordans could be in there, just not showing them yet. But you guys took the time to give my man a lineup. You took the time to give him brush waves. You took the time to put him in Timbs. He better have some damn Jordans.
Yeah,
right. I think it was probably like a bidding thing at that time. It was probably like, Adidas swooped in and said, "All right, we'll give you this much extra, but we want to see him like on the cover in these Adidas for you to get this amount of money." I'm sure it went something like that.
That's why you got to talk to the cats that hustle in this business right now. Look at the facts they just dropped. With every fiber of my being, I believe that's exactly what happened in that room. Yeah,
it was something like that. They were like, "Look, we're going to put him with the J's on the front cover, but we just got this check from Adidas, and the size of it means he's going to be wearing them Adidas on the cover. We'll put him in J's for one of another skin in the game."
And if you think about it too, at this point, something like that, Adidas is going to pay them money. Nike is going to look for money at this point because we have an Inspire verse. You know what I mean? They're going to look for a larger cut, whereas Adidas is going to pay out. So to me, it is annoying, but it makes so much sense, man. I think, and so that's another thing, right? Like that's one thing that sometimes I think we forget because we're so passionate about our creations and our comics and even just the ones that we love. We sometimes forget that like there's an entire business side to this, and it has nothing to do with who you like, who you don't like, wanting Miles in Nikes or not. It's okay, this is business now. What's the move to be made? What's the thing that we need to do? And what's going to benefit the overall brand and product the most? Because we're so attached to these things, sometimes we get our feelings a little bit more caught up than we need to. in
Did
the
somebody
Hey,
just put up there? Did somebody just put up there to put him in some Ewings?
yeah.
Did I just read that? Ewings? Is that what I just read?
Hey, you did.
Oh, not the
the
Ewings.
blasphemy.
Come on, man.
Hey, I'm not gonna be the only
Oh,
one offended on this show today.
oh, not the Ewings.
Look, and I probably wouldn't have been so mad at it if the Adidas they picked wasn't so damn ugly.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like you said, that check was coming in instead of going out. Front end deal with Adidas to pay instead of back end deal with Nike for a bigger cut of the games. Gross. Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
go for that.
Hey, like I
Yeah.
said, you got the spitting facts. But all that to say, what's something that you guys have put on these characters that you feel is an important factor of relation to you, but in the grand scope of things of, if anybody else, they're like, it's cool. But like for us, it strikes that chord. Like for me in Hot Shot, my man loves Chipotle burritos, man. Like it's a specific way that he orders his burritos. The passion and showing him when he has a burrito. That's my thing. I love Chipotle. So that's one of the caveats I had to make sure I put in there for him because that's a popular ass restaurant. I know a lot of people that just love it, but you have to order it.
My
a
wife
special
loves
way.
Chipotle. Matter of fact, my wife loves Chipotle. She's on the side of me right now. She loves Chipotle. And we just got one in this area, and we saw it, and we had to go to it the minute we saw it. Well, for Avery, it would be her. It would be Avery's shirt given to her by her younger sister, Mason.
Oh, okay.
So I tend to keep if my wife or my kids give me a shirt or whatever, it's near and dear to my heart, and I tend to keep it. So no matter what Avery wears, Avery has to be wearing something that A can be on, because it's personal to Avery. It's a part of what she does, why she does it. It's a part of who they are and why they do it. And it's also a big deal to her, to keep her grounded and to keep her in her right mind, or them in their right mind, excuse me.
That's dope. I like that. I like that a lot. I immediately went for the fat kid. But what about your character, Brian?
So as I expand, there are a couple different things, but if we're talking about Justice, he's real particular about how you label him. So the term we always use or usually use is somebody will be like, oh, a fallen angel. He's real quick to be like descended because he didn't fall. You know what I mean? He takes a certain pride in not being part of that fallen group. So that's probably the biggest one that we've revealed so far. And it's real, it's real cut in stone kind of stuff, honestly.
Okay.
And I'd like to speak on behalf of BD, right? I really, really would. But I will say this. His characters are so layered and have such depth to them that it's really hard to. Like, I can't say what Prime's thing is. I know what drives Prime. I know what Prime needs to do. The same for Sakari. I know what drives them. I know what motivates them. But they have such depth to them that it would be a disservice for me to just say, oh, this is the one thing, because they have so many things. You know what I mean? Like, they really are. Writing these characters, Avery included, has been the easiest writing characters that are not mine I've ever had.
Really?
Because they all they have so much personality in general. And if you can, when you're writing your own characters, you already know what not all the time, right? Which makes it great, but you know what your characters are going to say. You know how they're going to react to certain situations, and whatever script or story you're writing kind of writes itself. When you're writing other people's characters in school, in whatever you're doing it for, just as an exercise, it's difficult. It's you don't connect to them the same way. You don't know their history. They sometimes don't speak to you that way. I am very fortunate that Avery and Prime and Sakari immediately spoke to me. You could hear their voices. You know what they're talking about, even if you don't know everything about them. And that was easy to be able to show within the script because it was true.
That's awesome, man. I like that you found that connection and was able to do that. Was there a lot of research on your end that you had to do, or did the creators just provide you what you needed and you were able to just dig right in?
A little bit of both. Um, in terms of, I feel like I'm one of those guys, man. I can turn on the computer, go to Wikipedia, and spend an entire 9-10 hours there. If I get the right search and I'm looking at whatever I'm looking at, I fall down that rabbit hole. So with working with these characters, it was great in that anytime I had a question, like Lawrence said, Lawrence would talk to me about it. We were able to politic about it and to see um, where we could do what we could do. I also got a lot of leeway, so I got to give it to the guys. Lawrence let me do a few things with Avery visually that hadn't previously been done. BD let me do a few things visually that hadn't been done that I felt fit the story a little bit better. Their characters were open books for me, so like I said, anytime that I had a question, in order to make it make sense, would Avery react like this? Hey, is this something Avery would do? All right, okay, so now we got Prime and Sakari set up. So, again, learning what drives them, learning why they do what they do. It was pretty effortless, honestly. And while I do consider it, or some might consider it a lot of research, I consider it part of the process. I like the research. I like to dig deep. I like to know. I'm a Tolkien guy, man. So if you give me a book full of histories before we can even start the story, I'm good with that. Like, I'm going to read it. I want to know what sets up this world so that I can work in it and play in it the way I want to.
Okay, all right. So I like to hear. My man said I'm a Tolkien guy. All right. I wish I had a little thing. So I'm like, points given. Tolkien guy. Love that. All right. So let's talk about what brought these things together. How did this union? See, this is what I'm gonna need y'all to stop doing, bringing me these damn characters up here, because now I am really feeling it right now. Because these characters is just talking to my soul right now.
I can tell, man. Look.
Told you how easy it was, man. They do it for you, man.
I can tell you giving my man the real side look right there, boy. BD wake up and see this, he is going to fall out.
All right.
You got him clean as hell already.
It's about the presentation. But
well, we had known each other before this came up, and we had a good rapport, the three of us. And we had talked to each other during our individual campaigns, even before our campaigns, actually. And we had always said, I know Brian and I had always talked about working together in the past. And BD and I go back as well. And I mean, pretty much, indie comics, whether they be Black indie comics or whatever, it's a small pool. You know people as it goes, with Kickstarter campaigns, and especially with the when all this is over, when the Comic-Cons open back up, people from all around. So, but you may not click with everybody. So these dudes were really real people with me. And we were able to talk, and we were able to converse about everything. If I had questions, they answered mine as well as the other way around. So the idea of this crossover really was a no-brainer as far as it went for Constant Hustle and for Avery. It was actually one of the easiest decisions we've ever made when it came to putting our characters in joint universes or in someone else's universe.
Okay. My man said it was easy.
Well, from the other side of that, I'm glad it's easy. So when I initially pitched the idea, so it was like a transition, honestly, a transitional time for me, going from one project the next. And like I said, I had this, this grand, in my own head idea of like, man, I really, really, really want to do this crossover. Like, this is something I really want to do. It'll be dope, seeing some characters and working with the couple. And as I sat down and wrote, I think the first 2 issues before I even showed them. And then, I went into 3, 4, and 5, and I wrote those pretty quickly just because I was amped by then. But I had this whole pitch down. I was like, all right, I'm going to show them the end of the series, some of these glory moments so that I can be like, hey, man, bam, here's what your character does. It's so dope. You're going to love it, blah, 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 blah. And I hit Lawrence with that pitch. And Lawrence was like, bro, all you had to do was ask. Like, he was like, I was going to be in. All you had to do was ask. Like, thank you for showing me all this stuff. It looks cool and it is dope. But you just had to ask and it was going to be, done or whatever. And, BD, when I hit him up and I was like, yo, fam, hey, man, so I'm thinking about it. He was just like, yeah, man, we're going to do it. And I was like, you don't even know what I'm talking about yet. He was like, we're going to do it. It's fine, man. Like, I trust you. I know you got something brewing. Just hit me up when you got the details. But, internally, man, I was on pins and needles, because you want to do the best by people's characters. I mean, if you're serious about it, and if you're serious about working with people, you want to do right by their characters. And so I wanted to make sure that, I could allay their fears as far as that goes, only to learn that they didn't have any, only to learn that, they trusted my vision and what I was going to do.
So how does that feel, man? Was there a sense honestly, of reward for that?
Relief is what I would say more than anything, right? This is a real serious game. And so sometimes, and we've all had it, sometimes we have people that are like, oh, hey, can I do this with your character? Can I do that with your, character? And we get them in the DMs. I know you get them too, like, and you're really, really reluctant because you've seen some of their other work or you haven't seen some of their other work and you don't want to be rude. You want to stay businesslike, but there are certain things that you can't take on for whatever reason. And when I approached them, I wasn't at a space where I could take no for an answer. Like, I was just like, nah, man, this has got to work because it's something I want so deeply. So, for them to trust what I was going to do, to trust the writing and then to read it after and like it, it was a sense of relief, man, big time. Because, then I wasn't crazy. Then I'm not, I'm not wrong. I don't think I'm doing, right by them and really doing horrible. I was actually doing right by what I wanted to do and respecting the tone they've set in their own books and in their own universes.
I feel it. All right, so Spark was here. What does POG mean? Is that an acronym for something? Because I'm old, so I don't know none of that young stuff.
Yes, it is.
Or if that was a typo, I'm just curious what you were saying. Steve Stone, thank you, sir. We got to get your episode on the calendar as well. All right, so y'all about to have me out here today. I wasn't trying to be out here today, but y'all about to have me freaking out here today.
Dude, I am loving this piece already, like for real, for real.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was really trying to think about like how did I want to approach this with these characters. Because there's like when you sent me the stuff, I was like, man, there's a lot of power up in this. There's a lot of power right now.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
These are not quiet or subtle characters. But I was trying to look around and say, like, how can I show their power without showing power? And I wanted to do this united front pick, classic,
right.
Big three, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Trinity, right.
Yeah.
I like about Justice so much is he has all these other powers and the wings and the ability to do anything, but he will go to them revolvers in a quick second and pull it on somebody like, you keep saying one more word, and I'm about to show you what we do. He can easily just grab him, fly him in the air, and drop him if he wanted to, but he grabbed them revolvers quick as hell and is ready to take it to somebody.
Hey, that's how you got to be sometimes, man. That's how you got to be.
Man, hey, the invention of the firearm, man, that made armies, you know what I mean, null and void, bro. I
Right,
got
right,
1,000 men. Hey, I got 300 guns. You
right,
know,
right, right,
that's the principle I
right.
apply. I mean, I remember when I first invented and started, because I mean, he's been written for a while, but when I first started doing pictures, and I used to get a lot of questions about that. A lot of, oh, why does he have guns? He's an angel, blah blah blah. And I was like, but if you replace the gun with a sword, like, no one would bat an eye. Everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." But that's because that's the imagery that we normally see. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's medieval imagery, it's old imagery. They didn't know about guns at the time, but they picked the
Right,
strongest weapon that's only used is fighting. And
right.
so I kind of wanted to apply and update that. And I tried to use that same kind of theory, when writing Avery. Avery is a character that, while powerful, what's really important is the emotion behind why Avery is doing whatever Avery is doing. If you read issue 1, the entire issue is not about how badass Avery is. It's about why Avery's going through what Avery's going through,
Mm-hmm.
and everything behind it. You know what I mean? So again, I did my best to convey that, as a means of character and as a means of development. Prime is so okay. Indie comics. Let's talk. Let's get into it. Right? Indie comics. Everybody has a Superman. Everybody has the
Mm-hmm.
most powerful guy. If Lawrence and I don't know each other, Lawrence is like, Avery is the strongest, and then I'm like, no, Justice is the strongest. Well, if they were in a fight, Avery would, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be planet destroying over here. That's the way. That's the
Right,
way
right, right.
indie comics is, because everybody has that, because we're all building these universes. So some of that again is, the story is not about what the story is not about, and I say that to say Prime. The story is not about what Prime punches. The story is not about how fast Prime can fly, or anything else. The story is about, where is Prime from? Why is this happening now? The story is, why is Prime punching whoever he's punching? What's really going on? The depth of the character is what drew me. Again, with indie comics, you've got your pick of if I just wanted a Superman in there, right? You've got
Mm-hmm.
a billion to choose from. I could have asked anybody, honestly, and I don't mean that in the bad way. But if I just wanted something cookie cutter, there are multiple companies I could hit up. I don't want something cookie cutter. I wanted a character that had reasons and had depth, and had this backstory that we're going to get glimpses of, and then want to dive into more after. You know, um, and those are the important parts. That's what makes, in my opinion, right? That's what makes a crossover good. That's what makes a story good. It's not what. The what's gonna look cool. There are so many talented artists out there. We're working with an extremely talented group, with Fabio and Nestor, and Rune Makers doing the lettering and design. Like, we are working with such a talented group. Constant Hustle has such a talented group of artists. Constant Moon has such a talented group of artists. What really brings it together, and for me, what the driving force was the why. Why are these people together? Why are they interacting? Why is it all going down now?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it turns into what's happening. Oh man, what happened? Oh snap, that such and such happened. Okay, why? Boom, and then you have the real reason. Again, you have the emotional empathy from Avery. You have the depth of character and loneliness and solitude from Prime. You have the sacrificing nature and the no way out of Sakari, and on and on and on. That's what makes a story. That's what makes it good. That's what makes it important.
That is true. That is true, 110%. Because yeah, anybody can have a character that can bring down a mountain, but if there's no reason to do it, then you're just doing it to show that your character can bring down a mountain.
I had to put the pencil down. Uh, I severely feel that that's along the same lines and chords that we are doing with our character Vigilant. She is our Superman character, and first 3 issues were just power, just showcasing her power, showcasing what she can do, and but then we slowly dissected the character, started putting these holes in her history, in her past, and then we took her over in Hot Shot. That was our first crossover, and we showed that she has flaws. She was this perfect superhero, the world's strongest superhero, and she was the go-to. If Vigilance can't do it, nobody can. And we put her in a situation in Hot Shot where she failed, where she looked ugly in front of the public, and it questions who she is. And we took that back into her book, and now we revealed some stuff that's going on inside of her head that nobody knew was happening. She's talking to a psychiatrist. The world's strongest superhero is talking to a psychiatrist right now about things going on. And she's burdened with the world, protecting the world. Let's get her fixed ASAP.
Right. But and you have to think of those things when it comes to characters like that. It's not just back in the 80s, it was the characters showed up and they beat everybody up and they brought down a building and then they took off. But nobody thinks about the aftermath of that. Nobody thinks about, like on The Incredibles, nobody thinks about how a superhero doesn't want to probably be a superhero all the time. What type of tolls that takes on you mentally, what type of tolls it takes on the people around you, what type of tolls it takes on, on your body. Like in Logan, the thing that was killing him is the thing that made him who he was to start with.
Yeah.
So it's those type of questions that characters now have to ask, because the audience is so much more mature. Even when they're young, they know more than they did when we were watching stuff back in the 90s or whatever. So you have to address those questions. You have to address those parts of characters. You have to address, like, if all, like, say in number whatever, Nightfall number 8. I know we're not thinking out that far. I'm just saying. In Nightfall number 8, if Justice shows up on a scene, sees something in the distance and goes completely crazy and starts killing all the bad guys, by that time you will know the reason why that one picture or that one scene he saw was enough to make him go berserk. There has to be a reason behind it now. There has to be that depth of character to where you see him, you see the tears automatically come from his eyes, and then he's going to, the other two can just sit back and watch him lay waste to everything. But there has to be a reason why. There has to be it's just like Brian was saying, everybody has artists that they work with that can do amazing artwork. But if there's no reason for the artwork, then you just might as well just make a book full of pinups.
Right.
And call it a day.
Right.
Or conversely,
that's on time, man.
You have the last season of Game of Thrones if you don't. If you just have these crazy character changes because you want to see King's Landing blow up, then, you leave your entire audience not only disenfranchised, but just in the dark as to people. So we write these characters and we create these characters, so not just for us, right? But so they resonate with other people. Now, once you betray that rapport and that connection with no cause, no reason, no nothing, you just lost everything that you built up for however long you built it up.
Right.
Man.
When you had Superman, if and when they've done it, when you have Superman go evil and every time it's Darkseid taking over his mind or whatever, the reason that anybody cares about that is because it's a betrayal of who he was. So they've always got to give you a reason. Oh, hey man, this happened because Darkseid did, blah blah blah. You need that. You can't just take these dips with characters, just because you want to. I mean, obviously you can, but that just erodes any story elements and all the things that you poured into it before. You lose all the good grace that you've gained from your fans, and your supporters and your team.
Right. It's like that. It's like the scenario where the Joker tricked Superman into killing Lois and his son, and without hesitation, Superman put his hand right through his chest. Now, all of us who know the character, all of us who know the backstory, the only thing that kept, I shouldn't say the only, one of the few things besides his mom and dad in Kansas was Lois that kept Superman based here, that made him on a constant basis care about humanity, was that once you took that away from him and his son, then I knew what the next thing was going to be. There was no question of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
for
that's an
that,
amazing panel, FYI.
oh my God, is it an amazing panel? Oh, in my opinion, should have happened a long time ago. See, I would definitely be Red Hood in Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I wouldn't be living in Gotham because Gotham is one of the crappiest places to live in any comic
In all
at
of
any
creation.
time. Oh
In all
my
of creation.
God. Why would you even live in Gotham? But if I was there, I'd definitely be the Red Hood type. Because locking them up, apparently, they got the worst security at Arkham than I've seen in anything. Because
You know, man,
everybody's always getting out.
for a comic, I love it, and I think it works, right? But that at the same time, you can have a comic where Batman fights 30 people, and they all got submachine guns, and he's got kung fu kicks, and he wins. I love seeing that in a comic book, right? And a comic book is
Right,
amazing; it looks gorgeous. But when you start
right,
translating that, and that's one of, so I am a Batman fan. I got 2 Batman tattoos. I love Batman,
right,
but I'll
right,
be the first one to say, like, the modern incarnation where Batman just beats up like regular people doesn't make sense anymore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's got
right,
all this super technology and he just punches regular old dudes. That shit is stupid. 2, help out the
right.
infrastructure, bro, financially. Knock it off. All right. That's just, let's start with those 2. The other part about that is when you get into the movies and they're like, Batman doesn't kill, but neither does, look, because of the comics code, neither did, Captain America. Neither did
Right,
Thor. Neither did,
right,
any of the Avengers that we see killing people wholesale now. They go into a
right,
Hydra base and wipe out everybody. But it's not played that they're
right,
murdering people. It's just these are the consequences. These are the stakes we're fighting at. And this is how alive it gets. So people are going to die, unfortunately. That is part
right,
of the game. And so for people to do that, like,
right.
Batman doesn't kill. He can't go around punching all these people and they got automatic weapons. They are going to die. Some of them are going to die
Yeah.
and it's going to suck. But that's not
And some
Right.
of
you know what
that,
I mean? Like,
some of that, I think it lays on the fact of so the thing with Marvel and DC is that I always thought in my eyes watching other people watch them is that the DC characters are more godlike, iconic, and the Marvel characters are more regular people, relatable.
Right.
And if you break it down in a simple sense, in my eyes. So, and then the second part of that formula is that the Marvel MCU movies. My rule with movies are your movie has to be so entertaining that I am not going to look at your flaws. Like, yeah, it can have plot holes in it, but it's your job as a director, as actors, as a whole movie team to make me ignore the flaw because I'm enjoying the film so much.
Right.
And I think that's the key, one of the keys to Marvel movies. So, yeah, they were killing people in Avengers. Black Widow said, "We don't want to kill you, but we will."
Right.
Ain't nobody drop a dime. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
these are Disney characters now. I mean, they're owned by
Right.
Disney in a
Right.
movie marketed to children.
Right.
But because the material is so enjoyable, because the actors are so enjoyable, and the how large it is, we let that go.
Oh
But
yeah,
DC
Iron Man dropped in that base in the Ultron one and shot like a bunch of people right in that room. He said, "Let's talk about it." Shot a bunch of them right there. They made a joke real quick, and then he flew off. Yeah.
Absolutely. But then we get to our DC films, and we're so strict on them because there hasn't been a clear dominant success from them. So there's so much nitpicky because it's Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. We know what those heroes do because we've had Christopher Reeves. We've had Michael Keaton. These characters didn't kill them. If someone died, it wasn't by their hand, although Christopher Reeves did kill Zod. Lois Lane did kill old girl.
Yeah.
What do you think was under the ice?
Right? Exactly. Nothing. It was just like, what are you talking about? Look, I love Michael Keaton, but Michael Keaton, look, he killed the Joker, bro. He put the grappling hook around his leg and attached it to a gargoyle, and fam fell to his death. Like,
he did.
And look, the scene in Axis Chemicals, he goes up in there with the Batmobile, drops bombs in Axis Chemicals, all those dudes in there, they die.
Yeah,
he had machine guns
was
on the
definitely
Batmobile.
trying to kill him. He was definitely trying to kill him. That wasn't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird that, I mean, obviously these are fantasy characters and stuff, but it's kind of weird that people have fantasy characters and they stick. So, okay, one of the things that Nolan's Batman, and I don't consider them Batman films, I consider them great films, but not Batman films. But
Thank you. Thank you.
Here we
Thank
go. Here we go.
Look, you can put
Hold
John
up.
McClane.
Here we
You
go.
can put John McClane in 1, 2, or 3, and it's the same
Hey.
exact movie. Nothing
You know what?
at all changes. Right? It's not a
That's-
Batman movie. It's a good movie. Good
So
movie.
wait a minute. Wait.
Not a
So
Batman
what
movie
you're
at all.
telling me is you put John McClane in one of those 3 movies. It's not a Batman movie. Besides the gadgets, besides the
What gadgets?
devices,
What
besides the fighting stuff. John McClane
wait a
didn't
minute.
get
Wait a minute.
trained by Ra's al Ghul, right?
Stop.
He didn't have
Wait a minute.
all the stuff. Come on, man. Lucius Fox wouldn't give John McClane
this is a shame.
here to fight with.
This is a shame because I already said I got 2 Batman tattoos. So I'm gonna start you right here. You just called him Ra's al Ghul, and I take that as extreme, disrespect to my boy Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
I don't care what Nolan did. We're gonna start right there, right? That's
Okay.
one, right?
All right.
So let's talk gadgets, right? The big gadget of number 2 of The Dark Knight Rises, or is that The Dark Knight Rises? Whatever.
Which one?
Number 2.
The last
number
one,
2
Dark
with the
Knight
Joker.
Rises,
No, sorry. No. Okay, the one with
so it's the Dark Knight. It's the Dark Knight.
Okay, the Dark Knight. Okay, so the big gadget of the Dark Knight was the same gadget that they made fun of back in Batman Forever. It's sonar based in the bat cowl, right? But now they just use cell phones, and now everybody wants to be like, "Oh my God, that's a great gadget." Trash, bro. Trash. Anybody could have had that.
Wait. So
Because
are we?
Lucius Fox did it.
We're gonna forget about the Tumblr, and we're gonna forget about the amazing Bat Pod scene when he pops out of it. Come on, bro.
No. So So is that the gadget or is that Batman? Batman is the world's greatest detective. You want to know what the greatest Batman movie in the last 10 years has been?
What?
Sherlock Holmes. The first Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. is the best Batman movie that's come out in 10 years.
I don't mean to stop your argument right now, but I'm trying to pressure y'all Kickstarter. I need some clarification. I love it because, hey, Lawrence, you my man. But I'm with Brian on this. I do not like those movies. Those are not Batman movies.
They're not Batman movies. They're great movies.
I understand the point. I understand the point. I get it because he's not doing any detecting. Well, he did, but
he's not doing any Batman stuff.
Want him to do. I get that.
Nothing out, bro. He read some reports that Lucius gave him. He was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like,
so hold up.
Budget perspectives.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I'm trying. Right. So let's get back on task.
All right.
Because I'm trying to pledge right now. I'm trying to pledge live. So talk to me about the Kickstarter. Is there a pledge that lets me get all 3 books? Is this the entire crossover? The first part of the crossover? What's up? Also, let me put the link in there so I'm not the only one pledging. These 13 people watching right now can go on over there, pull up a second window. Hey guys, let's join together. They're gonna break down some stuff for us, and we're gonna pick a pledge right now, and we're gonna do all this live because they're at $3,555 with 114 backers. Can we get? If you haven't already pledged,
let's go, baby.
Let's see. So look, I want to know: is there a level where I can get all 3 books? Is this the first 3 parts? The first part? Break this down for me on these pledges.
So there are. I'm gonna give you another word right now. Go ahead and put another point up there for me. So there are a plethora.
I was gonna take that one. Oh, you took it. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So this is part 1 of 5. Our plan, and we are 100% on track and on goal to do this, is to release a new part each quarter. So basically, we will end the entire series next year around this time. It's going to be 5 parts. All 5 parts are written. All 5 parts have not been fully produced. They have not been fully drawn yet. But like I said, we're on brand and we're on goal and we're on target to hit every quarter so that we keep this series going throughout the year. Like we said, we want to make this an indie event of the fall. So your normal package, your average package, your regular package, whatever you want to call it, is just issue 1. There is a physical catch-up here, which will give you Justice #1, Avery #1, Prime and Sakari's 0 issues, The Gift, and The Return.
Oh, which one is that?
And it's called the physical catch-up. I believe.
Physical
I don't.
catch up.
Yes, it
I
is.
don't
That's
have it in
exactly
front of
what
me,
it's called.
but I think it's the
It's
physical
called
catch
the
up.
physical catch up. It is.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're getting but that's not in the digital catch up.
No,
The digital
it's in the
catch up.
physical catch up.
I believe the digital catch up is the same.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
The digital catch up as well. Yeah. Yeah. So that will get you caught up on the characters as they come into Nightfall.
Yep.
Okay. I'm about to weigh my options if I'm doing physical or if I'm doing digital. This has been I call this the season of the Kickstarter. It's come upon us like a swarm. They are everywhere.
Yes. Dude,
And they're
Oh, man.
it's not that they're just everywhere, it's that they're everywhere and they are good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like there's a
shout out
lot.
to like
the
look,
difference.
man.
That's
PETA
the
Comics has a great one going on right now. Unlikely Hero Studios just dropped one. Rumble Kings is out there. Titan the Ultraman is out there from Tony Control
Oh.
Havoc Comics. It's something like 200. Stronghold from 133 Art.
Yeah.
I can't even keep up, man. With my
Let me
own
tell you
places,
something.
you know?
I love all of those, but the standouts to me is the Rumble Kings one, which I love to death. I have the other ones, and Tony Cottrell with that Titan. Man, them pages look good, bruh.
Yeah.
Man,
Hey,
them
man, that
pages
cover,
look good.
that cover with
Oh
the
my
old boy with the
God.
reflection looking like
Oh
Deathstroke.
my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, Sis is
Man,
in the building.
he went all the way out on that one. He really did.
Dude.
Yeah.
Moana, Sis is in the building.
What's going on, Moana?
I can't wait to let y'all know. We'll let everybody know what Lori Foster, Moana McAdams, and I are working on. Oh God.
Yeah, this is definitely the season of some good Kickstarters, and I got to change. Here's the thing. So as soon as something comes up that I really like, I pledge. But I'm so busy between my family, my regular 9 to 5, doing comics, I forget all about the pledging until something notifies me that money's coming out of my bank account. Because I don't pledge $1. When I pledge, I'm doing like $25, $30 on everybody. So if people's stuff is closing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I forget all about it, man, I've had to adjust my budget a few times about that, bro.
I completely feel you, man. I completely feel you. Brad said he is going to go broke from all the Kickstarters, and I absolutely believe him. Brad I think Brad has donated to every Kickstarter that I've had on the show, and Brad has also paid for people to be featured on this show, and he's done that more than twice.
Wow. Damn.
He is a true advocate for comic books. All right, I apologize.
My man just put one of the locks in his face. I don't know what's with you in hair tonight, but you are on top of your hair game, bro. You put a lock in his face. You hear me?
Right?
Huh?
Bro, it's the subtle touches, man. It's the subtle
touches.
My
God. Oh my God.
Hey, I was just about to apologize. I'm sorry that this episode's running longer than normal because an hour in, I'm just now starting the inks.
You know, man, I don't think either one of us is gonna complain. Maybe somebody else will. I know I have. And,
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
You know.
You're good.
Now I know we got to have a separate conversation about Batman. Me and my man got to. And why he's so angry about those Batman movies.
You mean about those great movies that are not about Batman? No problem. We can talk about that anytime.
The unfortunate part about it is that as to date right now, unfortunately, those great movies are going to be the best representation that you're going to have to date. I haven't seen the new one, and I'm going to go on a limb and say right now, I don't think I will enjoy them as much as I enjoyed the 3 great films that we're talking about before. I'm going to call it for me.
This is the thing that happens. This is the thing that happens on Chat and Draw. People that I respect and that I look up to have such terrible opinions about movies. And to keep it all the way honest, I know they feel that way about me too, because y'all probably gonna walk off the show right now because I absolutely love Man of Steel. I think
I
that
love Man
is
of Steel.
crap.
Man of
I
Steel was
love
dope.
Man of Steel.
Oh,
I
okay.
love Man of Steel. Oh yeah,
Look,
I love Man of Steel.
keep it 100. Keep it 100. So Batman versus Superman, 2/3 of that movie is good. 2/3 of that
See,
movie is dope. It's
now
it's
I
that
would.
last section. Now, if you do the last section and he fights Doomsday, I'm sorry, instead of fighting Doomsday, if they fight Lex Luthor in power armor, it changes the entire movie and it creates a better narrative. They brought out Doomsday too early and they tried to do too much in the last third of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were trying to siphon some of that Avenger money. Unfortunately, that movie shouldn't even have came out for years. First of all, they haven't even give Green Lantern any love, and he should have been. They went way out of. They were just trying to strike while the iron was hot. Is all they were trying.
And that was
to
a
do.
mistake.
Oh, absolutely.
And they rushed the whole process. They rushed the whole process,
Oh.
but I love like some of the most iconic. I don't know if you will call them Batman scenes. I will call them Batman scenes. When he fought those guys in the warehouse, when he hit that dude so hard that his head went into the ground. Oh my God, are you crazy?
Best Batman fighting in history, bro. Only thing that even comes close is Bruce Timm stuff. Bruce Timm and that. Best Batman on screen, period.
I don't know if I'm gonna cause another divide here, but absolutely, thank you, son. Absolutely, Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman.
I would say he's mine too.
Not talking about Justice League Ben Affleck because Zack Snyder didn't direct
that. Don't count.
But the Batman that I got when Zack Snyder was directing it, that was a pretty damn good representation of Batman and Bruce Wayne for me.
So I love Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is like the Sean Connery. How Sean Connery is like James Bond, and then but like all the other ones are dope too. Michael Keaton is that for me in terms of Batman. Now, if you talk about
to Michael Keaton, respect,
right? If you talk about putting Batman on a showcase and how he should be, and even tortured and blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Like everything that he's supposed to be. Come on, man! Like, yeah. And so I'm a Ben Affleck fan, and even I was like a little nervous when they announced it, bro. I like Ben Affleck since I saw him in Armageddon, bro. I'm one of the few people that will admit, like, I'm a Ben Affleck fan.
Dude, I was like, what's the movie? The Accountant.
Oh my God, he did a great job in The Accountant.
Right?
Oh,
right. And they got no props though either, man. Like that.
I don't know how it did, bro. The cast was insane, and he was. And there's two versions of that movie. Like, there's one where there's one where if you go to the house he was in the garage, there was like there was a machine gun running on a turret built into the ceiling of the garage. He uses that in one version of the movie.
Oh, really?
Like a bunch of guys come to his house at the end, and he opens up the garage door and just like lets them have it with that. So there's two different versions of that movie. But man, I'm a Ben Affleck fan as well. But I mean, just the choreography and everything for everything he did, and especially in that scene. Yeah. I mean, of course, they shortchanged it with the whole Martha thing and all that. I wasn't a really big fan of that.
That was stupid. Because it was kind of lame.
If Superman would have landed and told him right then what was happening.
Yeah.
But then you would have got to fight. So I can understand that in a way.
I wish that they would have done it more in line with, like, honestly, the comics or even the cartoon where they were fighting, but Batman knew what was up the whole time. Like, if you do that same scene, right? But Batman, at the end of it, right when he's about to stab him, he's like, look, I know they got your mom. I just found where she is. Like, I had to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then Superman, being the Boy Scout he is, would have been like, oh, thank you. I understand, blah, 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 blah. Right, it would have been clutch. Right. You wouldn't have needed the Martha line. You just would have been like, oh, Batman really is that efficient and that dope. Right. And he had to keep Superman oblivious because Superman is stupid and he would have ruined it. And then
Right.
that would have alleviated every problem you had with the like Martha. Like
Right.
hey, Marvel, DC, y'all may be listening. Please hire me. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. I've been here. I'm in the streets. I'll let your boy. I'll script doctor. You know what I'm saying? Carrie Fisher did it for years. Let me script doctor. I'll let your boy.
Hey, they should have had somebody script doctor it.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid to admit, I didn't realize their parents had the same name, man. I didn't know their mom had the same damn name until he said it.
I don't think anybody did. Because nobody really cares.
Yeah,
What
they don't
his-
even mention Bruce Wayne's mom's name. You know, it's always like Mr.
Right.
and Mrs. Wayne. You know what I mean? Like you rarely get.
Nobody ever says that.
Yeah, you rarely get Thomas and Martha. I mean, I know because again,
Right.
I'm a huge fan, but that's not like I'm not like glad about that. I don't wear a badge saying that I know that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
But see, so it didn't. So when that hit, it didn't bother me that much because I was like, oh shit, they do have the same name.
Right.
Two of the biggest comic book characters in the world, their mom had the exact same name. That's crazy to me. But I'm not gonna lie, there are things that I like about the movie, man. But you know, like I said, there's things I wish they would have did better. I mean, it's definitely. I've always said it's the pothole that they have to hit to get to the rest of their movies because you're right, they're rushing.
Yeah.
Right. It's. I mean, you couldn't have introduced Wonder Woman any better than when she drops down out of the sky and saves Batman and right in front of the. I mean, the music coming on and the whole bit. You couldn't have done that any better than the way they did that. I mean, that's just that was utterly amazing. So that there's pieces of all those that they did well, but yeah, some of that stuff they definitely rushed, and it's shameful too because you got three of the most iconic superheroes ever made. You know, there's no way that movie should have not been amazing. I think it's because they don't have any real fans there. They got people who.
Well, so I think Zack Snyder is, and I think so. Looking back, right, I think that even now, Batman vs Superman gets more hate, not only because of the movie itself, but also because of how bad Justice League was. Justice League was honestly just a really bad movie, where they just did like a lot of flashy things. Obviously the best scene is when Superman comes back and he's fighting all of them. That was dope as hell.
Right.
But it was just such an unbalanced movie that it just really hurt. It hurt. So then you can look back at Man of Steel and go, see, that was kind of whack, man. That was lame. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have done that. Or then it affects what you do with Shazam. Now, while I like Shazam and it was like an okay movie, I hated it because they were fighting and they purposely limited collateral damage. Like the city didn't get destroyed, none of that. Because you have people going and saying like, oh, Superman fought Zod and it was unfair because the city got destroyed. Well, duh. Fuck, man. It's Superman.
Right.
You know, like it so you have movies like that go back and affect everything else. And they get this treatment because of what comes after them. So you can go back and look at Batman versus Superman and be like, oh man, like this part sucks and that part sucks. Bro, when Superman is dead and they really took that panel from Dark Knight Returns where he's emaciated and he's waiting, the sun's got to heal him up because he just got hit with a nuclear blast.
Yeah.
Bro, I got chills.
Yeah.
That was so dope.
You're right.
When the movie first started, so my creative writing degree, before I got creative writing, I was studying King Arthur. I wanted to, have a major in Arthurian legend, right?
Right.
When I was watching the movie, and at the very, very beginning of the movie, I was in there with my girl, my best friend and his girl. I saw the poster for Excalibur in the back, and I started geeking out in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And I was like, yo, I know what's going to happen. And I was pumped. And then to see it at the end, the musical cues from Hans Zimmer, when Superman goes to stab Doomsday, that music is the saddest music out there. He's like, yo, this is my home. Bruh, if you don't like that,
please.
If you're still hating on that, like, oh, that was cheap, you just don't like movies. You just want to be a hater. Like, that was dope cinema. Period.
It was.
Okay, gentlemen.
It was.
Maybe we are on the same page with these films.
Oh man. Yeah. You're right.
So
You're right. When he said that, and charged right in there. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
If that don't move you somehow, some kind
Oh
of
my
way,
God,
like,
please.
and so don't
Yeah.
like, okay, it's not as epic a moment as all the Avengers showing back up and all the heroes, right? Because that's everybody. I can't think of a singular hero moment that had that
Right.
same kind of gravity to it and sacrifice
Right.
to it in the Marvel universe. Seeing Thor come
Right.
back, dope as hell. Ooh, yeah, great, right? He's got
Right.
the axe and it's dope. But I don't think you have a moment of that kind of sacrifice and that kind of passion and everything else in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You still have it.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I just pulled the trigger. I got the digital catch up. I just made my pledge.
Thank you, brother. We
Appreciate
appreciate it.
Appreciate you,
We
brother.
do.
So you guys are at 116 backers, $3,610 right now.
Nice. Thank you, everyone who's pledged so far. Thank you, everyone who continues to pledge. I can 100% promise, and not just because I wrote it, but you will not be disappointed.
Right.
I promise you that.
Definitely will not be disappointed.
I also just posted the link in the comments again. Guys and gals, please go over there, go check that out. They got, like I said, I did the digital Kickstarter or the digital catch up just to get me caught up on everything. There's so many Kickstarters, man. So there's a pledge for everybody. And here's my thing when we're talking about Kickstarters, because there have been a lot of them. And I understand it's quarantine time, and everybody does not have money, or, money might be tighter than, what it normally is or whatnot. But there's plenty of ways you can still help this Kickstarter come to life. And number one, the cheapest and greatest one is sharing and advocating for it on your social media. You're hearing us talk. These are a couple great guys here, man, and we're just having a regular geek conversation, man. But they are making comics now, and you can tell from the vigor and conversation that we're having right now that the passion is bleeding over from their fandom to their work. I hear it in their voice, and as I'm perusing this Kickstarter page, I see it in their work. So if you can't donate, give it a share. Let us get access to your audience. If you can donate, even $1 helps. I just did with my team at Freestyle Comics a dollathon. We raised over $800 in one day, asking people for $1, selling merch and everything. So $1 does help. Severely, it does. And then the other way is, if you actually can afford whatever pledge level that you want, there's a plenty of stuff on here that you guys can get and check out. The one thing that's not on this Kickstarter, though, is getting your dreads done like this, man. I'm sorry. That's just that's just
I
something
was
like
just about to say it again. Look at you, bro.
Right?
Killing the game over there. Come on, man. My man looking heroic as hell right there with the fully. Oh my God.
Right? Fully twisted out, man.
God.
Come on.
Come
Each
on,
individual
man.
one, yeah, come on, man.
Come on, man. So
I'm definitely
what I was gonna say before is the thing that pisses me off about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, like, I can agree with some of the moves they made. Like The Winter Soldier is like one of my favorite Marvel movies. It's like one of my top 3.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, for sure.
But it's like the when we talk about consequences for your actions, granted, like Captain America and Black Widow and a few of the others couldn't step foot on American soil. But Captain America justifies that by saying, but he's my friend and we grew up together. If that was anybody else other than Bucky, he would have put him down.
Yeah.
Choices like that being made in these movies and everybody basically skipping over it is what drove me crazy about some of the films the way they were.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
so I kind of like
let the guy slide because of that. Because Cap said we're going to let him slide.
I feel like it was on brand, right? And the reason I say that, but I agree with you, but I think it's on brand only in that people just be following Cap to do any damn thing, right? Like sometimes Cap will have the worst, like in the comics, it's the worst plan. Look, hey man, all we got to do right now is kill the leader and then nothing else will happen. Like everything will go back right. He's like, we're not gonna kill anybody. We're gonna find another way. And then somebody's like, yeah, we gotta do what Cap said. What? No.
Right.
He did. So I
Right.
kind of liked that. And one, I mean, I loved seeing the two teams go against each other in, as far as that goes, Civil War. That was amazing. I love that part. I loved when they had done it at first, where if you were watching at the time, Agents of Shield, the episode before showed kind of like a breakdown of Shield, and then you watch the movie, and then the episode after showed like the aftermath. For a moment, while they still had them like linked in, that was so clean. It was so dope. And then they kind of went away from that. So
they went away after Shield got them that helicarrier.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so, I, like I said, I like, there were certain. There are parts, obviously. They got it. Look, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. While I like Guardians of the Galaxy, number 2 was kind of a waste of an entire movie. The whole plot of the movie was to get him to the end so they could meet Thor. Now, I love some of the scenes and sequences in it, but like in terms of like a movie, nothing happened.
Right.
We don't even mention the fact that
you got to know what Star-Lord's background was.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's the kind of stuff that kind of drives me crazy because, and while I like James Gunn as a director, you get this like, oh man, he put out another great movie, and it's like, but was it great though? But really, was it? Like,
Marvel's too on fire now, man. They could come out with anything. They could come out with something about killer grass, and it's probably gonna make about $1 billion.
Right.
And so
you know what I'm saying? You can't go against them now, no matter what they put out. You can
go against them. I hear and I hear what Brian is saying about that, but like for me, Guardians of the Galaxy connected with me because I love the story of what that they strung in there with his father, especially at the end when Yondu says he may have been your father, but he ain't your daddy, and like so that specifically struck a chord with me, and like
well, Brian said
me too. 100% too. That was a moment I was really thinking about when I was talking about great moments, and even Yondu's funeral, bro. Like, so I'm a Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Going back to when Yondu was actually a character, you know what I mean? Like, the original Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm in there. Like, there were great parts of it, but overall, so no one reported that these spores almost took over a couple Midwestern towns in the Earth. When Ego activated this thing, everybody just forgot about that.
Yeah,
The shared universe. No one even said anything. Like it wasn't even a footnote, right? Like
this big plant growing out the back of the Dairy Queen or whatever that was. Yeah.
Right. And no one says anything. So it's stuff like that. Like honestly, for me, that kind of drove me. That's what drove me crazy. Like little things like that. And I think Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was put together so well. That,
oh my God, was it?
They kind of didn't need to. You know what I mean? Or they should have waited a little bit longer to do number 2. I absolutely loved, number 1. It was on point and exactly what it needed to be. But we also don't take credit away from Marvel movies unless it's something that like geekdom or fandom wants to destroy, like, something like Captain Marvel, like, oh, it's the worst movie ever. Nah, it's not the worst movie ever. It's actually kind of cool. It's got some dumb parts,
Right.
And Brie Larson is a little wooden, in terms of acting, but it's also a pretty solid flick.
Yeah. See, I always thought that her wooden acting was implied because she's been on an alien homeworld. She doesn't remember who she is. So like she's imitating things that, she's imitating things from her dream. She's getting adjusted to this alien life and like how they are or whatnot. And some of those people, like some of the aliens were kind of just like off-putting, but I attest that to that race of aliens and their culture and how they lived. And like that's where she's been living. That's all she knows. That was my take on it.
That's actually a really good take.
Yeah. I didn't think about that before. I
just thought she couldn't act, to be honest with you. Like I still like her as a human being. Like, way to go, Brie Larson. I just thought she's like not a charismatic actress.
We watched a movie not long ago with her in it called Room. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Very good movie. Man, it is very good. Basically, it's about she's abducted by this guy. They have a kid together, and her and this child only live in one room. And it's how their day-to-day life is and how they deal with the guy who has them in there. Yeah, I won't say no more about it because trust me, you want to watch this movie.
Okay, Room. All right, Room.
Room.
I'll check it out.
Brie Larson. Amazing.
Is it on Amazon, Netflix?
It should. Where did we watch Room? Was it on Netflix we watched that? I think it was Netflix we watched it on, yes.
You got 117 backers.
Get them 117.
Man. Thank you,
Thank
117.
you guys for the
Thank
love,
you
obviously,
so
117. Like I said, man, and I'll keep saying it, you guys will not be disappointed. If you guys haven't checked out, there's a trailer video on the campaign. Obviously, I can't log on to it right now and put it in the comments, otherwise I would. But there is a trailer. It gives you guys some panel work. It shows you a little bit of what you can expect to come your way in terms of the look. Now, obviously, we're not gonna give away any story in there, but just feast your eyes on the artistry that Fabio and Nestor are bringing to you guys.
So, what do you guys think about the Kang the Conqueror pick?
I think it's one of the best picks that they have made. I'm thoroughly, disgustingly excited about it. That young man can act.
Right? He can.
He really can. He really can.
I'm trying to figure. It's always the. How do you top the last half hour of Endgame or whatever you want? Half hour, 40 minutes. What you can't do it through Kang.
It's not about topping it. It's not about topping it.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It's about continuing the tradition.
Yep.
It's about continuing that feeling of this is what we're here for, dude. And I know you have. Are you paying attention to the casting that they have been making? All I'm seeing is Avengers 6 right now. That's all I'm seeing.
Did you saw the Moon Knight pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Come on.
Dude, we're talking about Kamala
I don't even like
Khan.
Moon Knight, and come on, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about Kamala Khan, She-Hulk, Blade, Moon Knight. Who else we got? There's another new character that they're putting and giving their own show to. American Chavez.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one?
Isn't that old girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I don't know. I don't know about the casting. I know she's supposed to be in one of the shows. What's her name? Rambo. Monica Rambeau, her daughter, is in Doctor Strange.
Yes, I heard about that too.
Come on, man. Like,
And
they got the X-Men back. They've got the Fantastic Four back. So it's not about topping what they did with Endgame because they're not. They're not going to top that. That's a first. Just like in its own vein, just like in its own vein and right, they're not going to top Avengers 1 with what they did with Avengers 1 because that's the first time it ever happened.
Give you that. But like, only for that reason, though.
Yeah. Only for that reason.
Only for that reason. Okay.
They've surpassed that movie in production and quality and all that stuff. But that initial feeling of seeing 6 characters from different franchises come together.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Come on, man. The unibeams going off of the shield. Fucking Thor, stamping down at the same time. Come on, man. All them power.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that's still one of the best transitions in movie history. That's still one of the best transitions in movie history.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, easily. Very easily. I think that they've also, and I think a lot of franchises have learned from Star Wars. Star Wars made the mistake of losing the nostalgia factor and trying to keep it. One of the best, so don't get me wrong, even though the prequels suck, let's say that. I'm going to go ahead and say it. The prequels suck because the story was written incorrectly. But if you watch any of the prequels and there's not a point at which you get chills, when Yoda busts out his lightsaber, chill.
Oh,
yeah.
The first time, God,
bro. So when Darth Maul stands in front of you,
we was in the movie theater, dude. You couldn't hear nothing for like 3 minutes once he popped out that lightsaber. Oh my God.
It was ridiculous. So when
It was
Darth Maul,
ridiculous.
right? We had all seen Darth Maul. You see one lightsaber blade light up red. We had all seen it before, right? We were like, oh yeah, okay. We've all seen the commercials. We saw it earlier in the movie. When that second lightsaber blade hit and it was a staff, and it was again chilled. So they did great with the moments on those movies. Now they lost the moments in the second trilogy. You know what I mean? In the last, the Rise of Skywalker stuff. I think that studios have learned from that, and especially Marvel will lean into the nostalgia. Just like the Mandalorian has leaned into the nostalgia. Like you got to lean into it. You're not gonna. Mandalorian isn't gonna eclipse Empire Strikes Back. Never gonna happen.
No, you're right.
It's not gonna eclipse Return of the Jedi. But the fact that it leans into it, it's going to be able to stand with it. And I think that that's the same thing that you're gonna do, like Mike was saying with like Avengers, right? Is that they're not gonna try and eclipse. You can't get a moment where you've got 300 heroes showing up, on your level. You can't. You're not gonna have Cap picking up a hammer ever again. You're not gonna have that moment. But you'll be able to create other ones that are just as good, and they keep on brand. I think that's gonna be the move.
I see you. All right.
What's good?
I see that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, man. Because I know the one scene I wanted them to do, but obviously didn't, and what I got was so much better. But I still want it, and I know I'm not going to get it. Is the Onslaught scene in Onslaught Marvel Universe when Cap is running to sacrifice his life at Onslaught, and this beautifully drawn page by Adam Kubert. Cap looks to the left, he looks to the right, he looks to his side, he looks up, and he is surrounded by friends. Like that's it. Like as he's going in, he says surrounded by friends, and he just goes at it. And I was like, oh God. Not the heroes. Not the heroes.
Right.
Yeah. But
man, hold out the hope, man. Look, what I would like to see, obviously it's never gonna happen, right? But look, hey, Marvel, again, if you're listening, what would be dope is if you do Kang the Conqueror, and right after that, right, because he's a time-based villain, you have them come back and they come back into the age of Apocalypse, man. And then you spin the X-Men out of that in a real way, man, bro. Take all my money, Marvel. You're probably not gonna do it, but I feel like you guys should listen to me and you should do it. Again, holla at your boy, Script Doctor.
He said, holla at your boy, Script Doctor.
Man.
Now, they are going to have moments, though. It's going to be there. It's going to be awesome. But, the thing that hurts me the most is that I'm not going to see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine interact with Chris Evans' Captain America. Or Chris Evans' Captain America interact with John Brethenall's Punisher.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear that they're bringing John Bernthal into the MCU, right? Oh my God.
Are they?
Yes.
That was the last rumor. Did it get confirmed? I know that was the rumor.
I thought it was confirmed. Oh, you know what? Let me stop talking before I get a letter.
I know that was a rumor, and I hope that's the case. I just don't know if it got confirmed, man. And that's the thing that kind of sucks. There are so many unconfirmed at this point that, and you really want them to happen, man. I know I do.
Man, look. I don't like Punisher. I'm not a Punisher fan. I'm not going to buy Punisher books, but John Brethenall, he is Punisher. He brought a sense of humanity and scale and scope to the Punisher that I never knew was there. So, like, there's scenes, there's scenes in the comic book where Punisher won't fight Cap because of how much he respects Cap. And like Cap beats the crap out of Punisher, and he's yelling, fight back, and he won't because he respects him. That, like, I see that as John Brethren. Like, he can do that.
Right. I've been a fan of the Punisher, but the Daredevil series, which is to date my favorite Marvel series, brought Punisher in so clean when him and Daredevil are fighting on that rooftop, and he gets the best of them. Mm-hmm. And then he gives them they have that whole conversation. He's got them chained to that to the brick chimney. And they're having that whole conversation. He asks him about his kids. He tells him about what he has to do. He tells him about, what he's done for his country and the way that whole thing brought me right in, man. Brought me right in.
Dude.
Brought me right in.
if they bring the Netflix shows back, I want them to keep, like, I want them to keep it because that Daredevil is incredible. It's incredible.
Oh my
Punisher
God.
is incredible.
Yes.
The first half of Luke Cage is incredible.
Yes, Luke Cage. Luke Cage just went on too long, bro. Nah, Luke Cage.
Don't do it.
It didn't need 12 episodes, man. If they had done that in 8, yeah, 8.
First of all, Luke Cage. If Luke Cage should have kept Cottonmouth to the end,
Obviously.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
just going
100%.
saying that.
100%.
Cottonmouth
Putting him out
drew
for Diamondback was trash.
Yeah.
I love a villain with respect. When they told Cottonmouth that he killed the old boy in the barbershop in the holy ground, the way he played it off and threw him off the roof, I was like, that's
right
dope.
immediately.
That's classic.
Threw him off the roof.
Yeah, man.
With no hesitation.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
He said, you can go ahead, you can collect your money from him down at the street. Go ahead. You can get your money from him. Yeah. Yeah. Me and my wife watch that still to this day. Like, man, incredible.
Look, don't sleep on Bushmaster. Bushmaster was dope too.
Hey,
Bushmaster
he was
a great Stokes. He was a great villain. Every
Right.
time,
I enjoyed that
Every
season.
time.
He was Mariah Stokes.
Every time.
Yeah.
So Mariah
He was.
I was like, damn.
He was.
Yeah,
The wife really likes Bushmaster.
Yeah, he was dope, man. He you know, that season also went on too long. I think they ordered too many episodes for it. But he was great, man. The villains were obviously better than Luke. They really carried the show.
Yeah,
as they should, you know.
My
I could do it.
Is don't nobody know he bulletproof yet? They keep trying to shoot him. It's been 2 seasons, and they still trying to shoot this dude.
He was even on the news with being bulletproof. Like y'all didn't. Nobody watched CNN. Nobody saw that. Nobody got updates. Nothing. Yeah,
I mean, upgrade to a grenade or something. Do I mean, do something, please help me out here.
Yeah, I was thoroughly well. I could live a long, happy life without Jessica Jones. It started out kind of good, and it got real mundane real quick.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah,
I enjoyed Jessica. It took me a minute to get into her second season. I wasn't feeling the third season at all because I was like, nah, I'm not going for this villain. You're not about to give me, you're not about to give me this villain and make me think that he's giving Jessica Jones a run for her money.
Exactly what I'm saying, man. Come on, come on.
But I just feel like they should have done like the first 6 episodes of Luke Cage was perfect, and then they should have gave Iron Fist 6 episodes to introduce that character, and then they should have did Iron Fist and Luke Cage a show together, because Colleen Wing took that show away from Iron Fist, man.
Yeah, well, as she should have though, because
that was her show.
Is trash. The dude is. He's a worse actor than Brie Larson. Like it was just terrible, bro. Like that was horrible casting, though.
But dude, when he's with Luke Cage, though, it's perfect. They work. That episode where they crossed over,
and they were in the building, and Danny Rand was like, "Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I own the building anyway. It's good. It's all right if we break it. If we bring it down. Yeah. You're right. You're right. They do play off each other, but I mean, truth be told, Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, is great to play him in a physical sense.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the lines he gives, you can tell he's not from that neighborhood.
No, not at all.
When he walks up to them 2 guys and he's like, "Hey, plug 1, plug 2." The way he says it, you're like, dude, you don't even say it like that, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing?
You know what?
You don't say it like
that. I bring it up all the time, and you can tell when there are some times where writers need to just say, "Hey, you need to introduce yourself to this person." You know what I mean? Like they should give you not like line direction and not actual lines, but just tell the person what the scene is, because they're trying to get you, when you try to write slang for people, and this translates to comics as well. When people try to write slang in comics, 99% of the time it fails because you can't write that. You can't plan that. It's in body language, it's in tone, it's in expression, everything else. When you try to write that, it comes off as wooden. If somebody writes me a line that says, "Hey, what it be, man?" I'm gonna say, "Hey, what it be, man?" because no one talks like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy that they just won't let people do, what's natural for them to sometimes do. It's
Right.
it was super awkward. It was cringy, bro.
Okay. I got to read you guys something. I said earlier that my wife is a big fan of the Bushmaster character.
Mm-hmm.
Sent me a text message from laying right beside where I'm sitting that said, "Make sure your people know that Mustafa and I are kindred souls. We are connected." I want to be sure I read that to you, so I don't get in trouble when I get off of here.
Okay. All right.
Okay? All right.
So everyone is on notice.
On
Okay.
notice.
They said that everyone's on notice. She says okay.
Talk on Instagram.
She posts on Instagram and he likes and responds to her posts.
Hey,
I'm supposed to
now.
say that too. I'm supposed to say that too. So that's
sounds kindred to me, bro.
It sounds kindred to me too. Apparently, Mustafa need to handle some of these bills around here too. Then I'll be fine with it at that point. I'll be good with that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man, you are doing this piece, man.
Right. It's looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
It really is.
So
That's
it
what
really is.
happens on Chat and Draw when you're having a good time and you're just talking and letting it go.
Iron Fist.
Yeah, I think they gave up.
Why couldn't they hire an Asian American actor and have him take over the role? And I mean before they hired the the white guy. And the reason I say that is because it doesn't require like a big change, right? If you say, oh, his name is Danny Rand, okay, cool. So when his parents immigrated, when they came to Ellis Island, they said Danny Rand, but they meant Danny Land, L-A-N, right? But now that's their name. They made a fortune. You can have basically the same story happen, but you can honor the tradition of Iron Fist, who should have been Asian the entire time. And I think that it would have been accepted much better. Also, you probably would have got a better actor. Keep it 100.
Right.
Well, see, that's the thing is everybody was better than him on the show. Like the dude that they got for second season to be the villain, that dude was dope.
Yeah.
Like it should have been Colin Wing's show. It just should have been her show.
Right. It should have. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I did like when they did the Defenders. You know what I mean? Like that little crossover was pretty tight.
Oh,
and
yeah, I enjoyed that too.
You guys liked Daredevil more than I did. Daredevil was a little slow for me, and it kept like losing me. I ended up finishing it, but it kept losing me.
Right.
I also don't like, even though she's gorgeous, I don't like the lady who played Elektra, but I don't like her in anything she's in. So I think that's a me thing, and maybe she's not as bad as I think.
Okay.
I think it's from when she played Jinx on the G.I. Joe movie, and I was like, why is she Jinx? And I've not liked her since then.
Oh,
that's
my God. I did not put two and two together, dude. I now that you say it, I know. Yeah. Okay. I think they set her up better. I think they set her up better in the Daredevil series because even Froggy was like, hey, whatever happened to that Greek chick that you used to date? And then when they went into it once again, it's like we were talking about. By the time they got to kicking, to going out and fighting crime together, you had seen their backstory.
Yeah.
Like the Elektra movie, even though I like Garner, the Elektra movie, she just shows up ready to slice and dice everybody. And you got no backstory on how she learned anything other than it had to be almost halfway in the movie before you realize what was going on.
I think that's what we're saying, Daniel, is that everybody on the show was a better actor than Danny Tran. Like, everybody on the show was a better actor, better performer in everything, and it should have been their show. That's what we're saying. And I would love to have a Daughters of Dragon show because those two were magic together.
Oh, in that bar scene 100%. When they fought and she didn't have that other arm yet, so she was trying to swing and there was nothing to swing. Please. Bruh.
Okay, so I laughed my ass off when that happened. I was like, because it played right, and then you're like, oh, okay, now let's get back to it. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Amazing. So I do have to say, and I don't want to stop or pause your amazing drawings. But my phone has gone from 100% to 2% now, and so my phone is about to die. As I've been having this lovely geek chat with you guys. So I'm gonna have to unfortunately bow out now because I don't want to be caught off mid sentence because that's gonna look stupid and I don't like looking stupid. But Mike, I want to say thank you for supporting us. I want to say thank you for having us on here. Thank you to your entire team. Honestly, the drawing is coming out real well. Thank you guys for everybody who supported us right now, everybody who supported us before, everybody who's going to continue to support us. Like I said, it's a big world event. You guys will not be disappointed. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see some things that you're not expecting as the series progresses, and we promise to keep you engaged.
All right, man. Well, thank you for being on the show, man. I appreciate it. It's been a great conversation, man. Great one, because we're making this time fly by, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Me and Lawrence knock it out.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, and I will get at you guys later.
All right, man. See you, brother. Yeah, I'm a Daredevil fan, though, man. That series was amazing to me.
Mm-hmm. Again, I respect Daredevil. I'm not crazy about him. There have been some really good books, some great character features with him. He's not the guy that I'm chasing down in the comic shop, but I absolutely love the show.
Right. I get it.
And that's the thing with the MCU, man. They have a way of making you like characters that you do not care for.
Right.
And that's why they're winning. That's why their movies are winning or whatnot.
This is true.
It's not. I mean, I like DC movies. I want DC movies to be good. Like I said, my favorite is Man of Steel.
Man, when I saw the trailer for Suicide Squad, the first trailer, not the Comic-Con one, but the first trailer with the song in the background, I forget what the name of the song is. I was like, and then it just showed the Joker at the end. I was like, oh my God, this movie's gonna be so good. I can't wait for them to come out. They're gonna catch up. And man, even though I liked the movie overall, it just wasn't. I don't know. I don't know. I want them to win. I do.
Today is Tuesday. You got to go take a bath.
You got one that young that you got to tell them that?
Yeah, as well. I got them on a schedule, and we got that what is that Green Life card thing for the kids?
Okay.
So 2 of our kids have phones, and the other 2 don't, so they have to share a device. So all their chores are on there, and their schedules are on there, and that's how they get their allowance every week.
Oh, okay. All right.
So far, it's been working out or whatnot. They each get their own little debit card to make their own little purchases. But if their chores and stuff aren't done, or their grades aren't up to par, they're not turning in their work and stuff, I can cancel it. I can cancel it. I don't have to give them money for that week.
Right.
So it's been working out all right.
That's good, man. That's really good. That's a hard thing to balance.
Oh, it is. It's taking my wife and I to do it.
Yeah.
But they don't always, the 2 youngest don't always share the dang device, or they can't remember the passcode to get into it. So then they just run out here and ask me, "It's today my birthday?"
Man, oh man.
Man, so this has been super fun. Bringing these characters to life. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm drawing this is making me more excited to read the damn event.
Oh man, Brian really wrote the hell out of it. He's right. You're not going to be disappointed. Brian really wrote the hell out of it. I mean, it was a collaborative effort. All of us, he sent the draft, and we were all able to say this and say that, and changes were made. So it's not it's not just him going into a room and writing it in a vacuum. Not at all.
Awesome. I'm very interested to see what this is about. To call these characters, I'm looking at the page, I'm like, man, these damn characters look amazing.
Yeah.
To pull all them together, what is happening? What is bringing all these characters together?
Yeah, it's like you got to have a hell of a villain to take three powerhouses like this to come together to fight it.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I had to actually, because I'm doing a lot with short fuse freestyle comics and all my streaming and stuff. So I've actually
Uh-huh.
reached out to somebody else to help me with the big bad that we got coming to FSK, because when he lands, he's gonna be mad disrespectful with the way he comes up into the
Right.
yard. But I know for him to make sense, he's one of these characters that I want to be a mirror reflection of Hotshot, so we can get the line off of "I used to be like you when I was young."
Oh yeah.
That type of deal.
Yeah. If you knew what I know, you'd be on my side type thing.
Right.
Right. I got
That
you.
kind of character would not, uh, but for that character to rock, for him to be able to step into our universe and do the damage that he's going to do, and it hurts. He's got to have a
Right.
solid background. He's got to have,
Right.
all the stuff built up, like their military, their culture, and stuff.
Right.
So I've been
And
working
it's
with.
got to be understandable,
Yeah.
understandable and relatable to a point. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like Thanos, you understood why he was doing what he was doing. It was absolutely ridiculous that he went to that extreme.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could have just got the Infinity Gauntlet and made more room or made more food, and that would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of understood where Killmonger, same thing. You understand where he's coming from to a degree.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you have a big baddie come in, you have to understand that. You may not have to understand, let's say in the first episode, but by the time you're done with his arc, for it to be relatable, for people to come along, they have to understand that, and to some degree have to agree.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got to say, well, I do see his point. I do see his perspective.
Right.
But I want this dude to just be like flat out. Like, all right, so you ever see Gangs in New York?
Yeah.
I want him to be on the level with the Butcher.
But see, now you knew what the Butcher was about before the fight came. The Butcher was telling you to your face, I don't like you because you're not what America is supposed to be about.
Hey, you're right. The Butcher's hard.
Right.
I love him. He's one of my favorite villains all time. What's this? Sorry. Look, we didn't get caught up in the talk. I've been missing these comics. They did do a good job of syncing up the MCU films and the MCU2 shows, though. Yeah, they did. Bites tongue as I've enjoyed most DC films. The Daredevil series with Kevin Smith wrote and Joe Quesada drew was awesome way back. It was. That's one of the comic books I did enjoy.
Okay.
My issue is that when DC does get a win, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, BOP. What's BOP?
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. People go out their way to lessen the win. I do agree with that because those are all wins. The fact that you don't have Man of Steel up in there is disrespectful. But to each his own. To each his own. I did really enjoy Birds of Prey, though.
See, I wasn't a big fan of Birds of Prey. My son, well, I didn't see it in the movie theater. My son was like, you got to buy it. You got to buy it on 4K so we can watch it. We got a little home theater set up, and we went out and bought it, and we got the popcorn already. And I think my issue is I have to watch it again because I'm not big, and I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. I'm not big on Harley Quinn as a character.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just portrayed as some crazy chick with a mallet, and I don't know why that even makes you anywhere close to notable.
What's so funny
Just
about
because
that
you're
statement?
some crazy chick with a mallet.
What makes that statement so funny is that's exactly what that movie's about.
Right.
That movie is exactly about why Harley Quinn. It finds Harley Quinn. It discovers her on her own because she is always seen as the chick with the mallet that's crazy, but that's Joker's girlfriend. And
But
I think they do. I think they did it really well. In my eyes, I thought they did.
I like the grown character of the Huntress was funnier to me.
Okay. I enjoyed the Huntress. She was my favorite. I like where they went with the character. I think the only characterization I did not like was Cassandra Cain, because Cassandra Cain is one of my favorite Bat people.
Oh, okay.
And so I know where she comes from, and that's not where she comes from.
Right.
My Cassandra Cain's a beast.
Right.
But I thought they did some good things with it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot more.
Things. Yeah, they definitely did some good things. Can't deny that. They definitely did some good things.
Oh, this one's a
man.
beast.
Yeah, killing this.
Hey man, I might have to talk to you about some Avery the Astonishing crossing over. I see her and Vigilance wrecking some shop together.
You were there for the you were part of that whole and then thing we did.
Hey, which that is a regular thing. I'm going to make that an actual event. You guys did that so well.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I loved doing it. It was amazing to me because by the end they were at the bar together, and Avery was trying to help Vigilance get over some ex-boyfriend. I don't know nothing about Vigilance love life at all. She had an ex-boyfriend, and they were at the bar having drinks, trying to get over him. It was going to get crazy.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think those kind of games are fun, and it has become our version of freestyling in the comic book world for writers.
Yeah, it makes you think. It keeps you on your toes. It definitely does. I can't say enough about this piece, man. It's really dope.
Thank you, sir.
I want to get that. I want to get that framed or something. That's really dope.
I am definitely having a lot of fun with it. Cannot deny that. I like and I was excited tonight to get another crack at Avery, because while the drawing I did last time worked, I don't think I delivered on her like she deserved.
So I think it definitely worked last time, but you outdone yourself this time.
Yeah, I wanted to bring her home on this one.
Yeah, you've captured all three of them, because my man Prime looked like he should be on a Black History Month poster. The way he's sitting up there right now, that's what he looked like. He looked like he's supposed to be somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like he should have been on the. Like, here's the ultimate compliment. He looks like he should have been on the Watchmen series.
There we go.
That's what he looks like right now.
I will take it. And that show was my favorite show this year.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That show. Regina King did her thing.
And she deserved every accolade she got from it.
Definitely.
Like I was somebody had posted how Watchmen had won like some technical awards for like behind the scenes edits, musical, special effects, or some crap. And I was like, that's all good and dandy. I was like, what about best show? What about the other awards, best actress and all this stuff? They ain't win none of that. And I was like, no, Mike, calm down. They give these awards out first during the week. Then they give up the big ones during the show live. I was like, man, I was about to have a conniption. Because like I'm not an award show guy, but I wanted that show to get its acknowledgement, because you couldn't tell me a better show on TV than that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Even the first 5 minutes, and they start out in Tulsa. I can't think of another show or movie that has even covered that.
Mm-hmm.
Short of Rosewood, if I remember that correctly.
Right, but now I guess I could put Lovecraft in there too, because I'm just gonna say those shows are gonna be close at the same time. Right. But I mean, I don't have a negative thing at all to say about Watchmen. I don't have a negative critique about it.
Nope, me either. I mean, it was completely came from North, you know, from it blindsided me so much with how good it is.
Mm-hmm. Like the
It,
twist and everything, man. I was there.
oh
Me and my
my
wife were there
God.
for it.
Oh my God. And I tell you what, when Brian was just talking about scenes where you feel, you know, you have to feel something or else you're dead inside. When Regina King went outside to take on the 7th Cavalry
Mm-hmm.
to save old boy,
Yeah.
drove across the street, not seeing where she was going, to save his life. I was like, the music playing in the background, and I was like, oh my God, absolutely amazing.
It was, dude. Like I said, not a bad thing to say about that damn show.
Oh, oh. Only thing I can say bad about it is I don't think they're coming out with another season, and that's tragic.
Yeah, they're not. The showrunner said that was the intention, that was the goal. Which is fine with me, because I wouldn't want them to mess up perfection.
Right. I get it. I get it.
Because like, so you take a show like Umbrella Academy,
Right.
season 2. I'm not a big fan of the show anyway, but so with me, if they did a season 2 of Watchmen, I'm gonna be wanting Regina to use her powers like all the damn time. But like
Right.
in Watchmen season 2, old girl that can use her voice to manipulate things, she didn't do nothing. It made me so mad. Like, you've
Right.
created a whole life here. That's your husband. I don't care what the repercussions are. You can pull that off.
Right. Right.
Like, she
Right.
made no changes.
I think they focused on the ones they thought, the characters they thought were more popular,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately just left her by the wayside.
I agree.
Oh man, that is so dope.
But, you know, I still watched it. I have this thing, me and my brother Ren McKenzie have this thing, like, we can't talk about something and call it trash if we haven't watched it.
Right. Right.
And,
Right. Right.
so I'm, you know, if you've heard me complain about something, I have watched it. I have given it its chance.
Right.
Yeah, this I'm gonna tell you, this piece has been super fun.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is so dope. BD's gonna see this and he's gonna lose his mind.
Well, that's my it's my goal, to have y'all go
Right.
crazy for it.
Right.
Because you know, you hear, you get on the show and you hear you guys talk about your stuff, and it's like, all right, man, I got to knock this out the park for him. Like,
And that's like when I watch a series like Watchmen, that makes me want to create so much more. You know, it makes me want to do so much more. It makes me want to, you know, just to see something like that. You want that. Like you want that arc in Hot Shot where they're like, man, could you imagine what he was feeling when this happened, when that happened, and then this panel came up and that panel came up. You want to affect people. That's
yeah,
what storytelling to me really is. It's affecting
mm-hmm.
people. Like when Avery gets to the end of her the first series arc she has, I want it to affect people. I want it to leave people breathless. I want it to, regardless of how many crossovers Avery's in, regardless of what Avery's doing, I want it to stop people, to stop them cold.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, then they say, you know, I have to buy them all. I have to buy all the ones that Avery's been in. That way I can read them from beginning to end.
That's what I go for. That's exactly what I like to hear. Like back when we were civilized and we had comic book conventions, the people that that I knew were there for like the whole weekend and they were questioning on whether they should buy the book from me or whatnot. Like, well, I'll give the first issue a try. I always take pictures of people that buy my work.
So
it
do
always
we.
makes me feel good. Someone's putting their faith in it and putting the money down for it or whatnot. And
Right.
And so in doing that, I build up a little bit of a memory of who's coming back, and always seeing, not that it happened all the time, but when it did happen, when people came back and it's like, all right, give me the next issue. All right, give me the next one. You know what? All right, I'm just gonna pick up the whole series now. Like, and I tell people that, and I know it's a selling pitch or whatnot. I'm like, look, they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna get issue 1 and 2, and I'm like, look, I'm telling you this right now. I'm not trying to get an add-on or anything like that, but I'm letting you know right now. If you just buy issue 1 and 2, you're gonna be pissed because it's a cliffhanger. At least get issue 3. At least get issue 3 or whatever. I'm not just trying to upsell you, but I'm letting you know. And, and then they come back. It's like, you was right. I should have bought issue 3 last night. All right, let me go. It's always a good feeling. I can't wait. I mean, I hope they come back. I can't wait for comic book vendors to come back.
Man, we were just getting our legs with that too. We were just getting our legs with those. We did some one dayers, and we were getting ready to do some 3-day events, and and then this happened.
It made me mad because I go to shows all the time, and this year my wings were spreading. Like, I was getting invited to different shows. I was starting to get further into the country, and like my goal this year was to get out, be able to either get the room comp or the table comp, just get something comp that would help me bring my budget down, so I can get to California, so I can get to Nevada and do shows over there. And like, that's where I was going. I was at so many shows, and people were starting to recognize me for comic book conventions and things like that, and bringing me up for panels and all that jazz. And then boom, I was like, are you kidding me?
Right. I didn't think it would be what it is right now, I'll tell you the truth. I thought it was a fleeting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh man, that looks so good.
Hey, I'm going to agree with you, man. I've had a good time with this one tonight.
Yeah, you did this up.
Thank you, sir. There we go. And now I can do this adjustment because her lips are too close to her nose. There we go.
Absolutely amazing.
That one. I want you to move up there. I want you to move up, son. There we go. Oh. We got a hand that we need to fix. That's why I love Photoshop, man. I love this program. Able to make a quick adjustments like this on the whim, like that. I was working on Victor Dandridge's sketch covers today, so I had to draw those traditionally, and I found myself clicking over to the right like I do on the iPad, and I was like, oh shit, I'm drawing in real life. I don't have a back button.
Wow. That is amazing, bruh.
Thank you,
talk. That is amazing. Wow. That really came together.
I thought I was giving myself enough time. I started this before I got on the call with y'all. I was like, apparently I did not. So,
That's all right. Something like that takes time. That is amazing. Yeah, we may have to put that out to people.
hey, it's yours.
Once we get a certain number of backers, we have to put that out to everybody. That's really dope.
Hey, don't tell anybody, but these be my unofficial applications to all y'all. Let Mike Watson call your character.
That is dope. It really is, man.
Steve, what are you talking about? Don't forget P-Arm. Where? Oh, Prophet's Arm? Or Prime's Arm. Thank you.
Prime.
Good call. Look at Steve helping out here. Definitely forgot about it. Thank you so much.
That's dope. Man, that's so dope. Woo-wee. Yeah, that's perfect, man.
Hey, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, these characters is fun as hell to draw.
Man, you
Let's
did
go
it
ahead
up,
and
bro.
let's go ahead and get that replay.
Man.
There goes the Kickstarter link. Make sure you check these guys out, man. It looks like they got some pretty serious stuff going on here. Pulling together 3 amazing characters that I've got the privilege of drawing tonight and having a good time with, and getting to know a whole lot during this show. I made my pledge tonight onto their Kickstarter. I'm where's my refresh at? Refreshing. See where they're at. 117 backers, $3,615. They're almost at their goal of 5,000. 18 more days to go. Avery's left sleeve. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I'm gonna get that on. Thank you. Looks like I missed a spot, but we're gonna let the video play.
All right.
Oh man, that was a beast of a journey tonight, man.
Well done, man. And it was the time flew by, man. Time flew by.
Oh yeah, that here did take me a minute.
Well, look, man. Look at it. Look at it. It's gonna take a minute.
This is good times. So you guys are looking to do this every quarter to release this whole crossover?
Yes, sir. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my copies, man.
It is gonna get done. Yeah. We're Constant Hustle Comics is just happy to be involved, man.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be part of it, and it's really something, and it's it's one of the projects you can be proud being part of.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody could, in indie comics, anybody could do a project.
You're right.
To have one that you're proud of is a completely different thing, and this is one of those things.
Yeah, we may be we may be talking to see how we can flip one, because these characters are fun.
It was definitely amazing. It was a good time for me too, man. I know it was a good time for Brian. Thank you so much, brother.
Oh, you're welcome. Let me fix the stuff that they are telling me I need to fix.
Oh, just the arm real quick. I see it.
Yep. Think you'll never get confused. I love doing this.
I can tell.
Hey, yeah, you're right. Old boy's hair is lit.
Come on, man. Come on now. Oh man, it's so dope.
All right, I think we got a full piece there.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, man.
No problem, man. I'll get this uploaded to you, man, and you guys can do whatever you want with it or whatnot. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the endurance episode of Chat and Draw today.
Thank you so much for having us on, brother.
No problem. We went big on this one. A lot of fun. The link is in the Kickstarter link, or in the comment section. Please check it out. If you enjoyed today's episode, if you're a first-time viewer, go ahead and check me out. I started doing this thing called branding, so I'm easy to find on social media. It is Most Epic Art on Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So give me a follow, give me a subscribe, give me a share, give me a dislike. I'm open for conversations about whether you like my stuff or not. It could be a thing of growth that we could say could happen. But thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you tomorrow as I got Lori Foster and the Unlikely Hero Studios crew coming in, and we'll be drawing a character from Unthinkables, which they are funded. They hit their goal yesterday, over $5,000. So they're there.
Oh man, good for them.
Here we go. So later, everybody. Thank you again.